All right, everybody, welcome back to the Elspeth Von Draken campaign. We had a battle at the end of the last episode that I told you I would be fighting, and true to my word, here we are. So I'm going to start laying waste to the forces of the Wood Elves. First to go are going to be the Glade Guard with the Hagbane tips, who, of course, received today's first purple sunburn. They should be proud. That's an honor. An honor saved for only the enemies of Elspeth. Did we kill that Glade Lord already? Surely not. Did it come? Oh, wait, what? Yeah, we did. I think we killed the Glade Lord, or routed it near immediately. Or no, it was hidden. Wow, that was kind of weird. It's a spell weaver. I guess she had some kind of special ability that allowed her to remain hidden. Makes sense. I mean, when your enemy has this many guns, I would want to remain hidden as well. Don't really think it's going to be a good idea to come out into the open. I'm going to just target that spell singer again. Whew. Rest in pieces, Eternal Guard. Rest in pieces. All right, let's get their friends. They were lucky that volley missed them. Not so lucky that time. Oof. They are just surrounded by purple sun vortexes. It's looking pretty good. And rockets are absolutely savage for the Empire, and they're savage when you play against them too. Like, if the AI gets a hold of a few rocket batteries, like, it is never a pleasant experience at that point, where it looks like the reinforcements are coming. They definitely should have not waited. They should have bum rushed me immediately. All right, let's continue the beat down here. We've got some good stuff happening already. The reinforcements are on the way in. Let's see what they got. They got a dragon, some hawk riders, another spell singer. Yeah, spell singer, and then they got a tree man, two tree men. So we got some rather large targets to take down, but really shouldn't be an issue. They have lost over 1,000 troops to my rockets so far. That seems... something seems off. Maybe it's counting like a number of theirs that were wounded prior to the battle, I think, because I don't think I've actually killed 1,000 Wood Elves at the beginning of this battle, but you never know. Maybe I'm more deadly than I think. I'm going to start targeting those Hawk Riders. They ought to be good targets for the cannons, and honestly, the steam tank should be able to maybe get a hold of that Spell Weaver as well. So we'll do a little bit of work here. Let's see if our cannonballs can find these Hawk Riders. I would imagine they're going to. Oh yeah, we just took a hawk out of the sky there. A little bit of hawk sniping. And let's check on our Amethyst rocket batteries. I'm curious whether the Amethyst battery can do as much to some of these more mobile units. They've got a lot of forces coming in, but they're still further back. I'm gonna fire a volley off at their Glade Riders and see how it performs. Let's see if we can do some sniping on that Spell Weaver. I think they were doing an Awakening in the Wood on me right there. No, that's a Dwellers Below. Crap, that kind of sucks. All the more reason to kill that Spell Weaver. The Hawk Riders just came under fire from my Ironsides, and life is not looking very pretty for them at the moment. I'm gonna slow it down. I got a bunch of stuff going on. Let me check the range on these rockets. I do have good range here. I'm gonna drop an Amethyst barrage on these approaching forces afar off so that I can keep my troops from being engaged. We're starting to come under some pretty significant fire from those Glade Riders. That is not really ideal. I do need to protect this flank. I've got dragons coming down both flanks, and we have quite a few enemies coming right up the middle still too. However, their middle has... oh man, that breath attack was highly effective. That kind of sucks for me. The AI is usually pretty good about it getting off at least one of its breath attacks. Let's see where that dragon's going to drop. Right there. All right, I'm going to bring my Altdorf Griffites over to finish that thing off. And let's watch this other dragon. We got to countercharge those Wild Riders. We're losing a little bit of Ironsides here, just because of all the the horse archers. I think I'm going to actually take my amethyst battery and my standard batteries and my cannons, and I'm going to try... Yeah, we just took another big hit here. I think they... How did their dragon pull away from this? That doesn't really make much sense. Got some dragon and shrieking. All right, he's going for my artillery. We're going to put an end to that. He's still flying. There we go. Finally counts as landed now. I'm going to actually drop this cannon. And let's see. It looks like they did get into melee with me just a little bit right here. That's not going to last that long. How is their dragon holding out that well against all these armored knights, including the Altdorf Griffites? That seems highly unlikely. All right, we did get rid of some of their Glade Riders. Really, their Glade Riders are some of the only stuff left on the battlefield that are causing any damage for the Wood Elves. The rest of their troops did get some damage done, but really the Glade Riders here were our biggest enemy, as it would turn out. I'm gonna get a hold of those Wild Riders, rearrange some of these guys. The dragon's finally dying. It seems like that should have happened quite a lot sooner. I don't know why this rocket battery is being all stupid. And then same with this one. I didn't tell you to move, and you had more than enough range to hit those guys, and you're on a defensive stance, which means that if you couldn't shoot the enemy, you shouldn't have been coming towards it. I'm gonna pull these knights back just a little bit right here. I need to blast these few war dancers that are coming in that don't want to rout. I've got a few more issues here behind the lines. Let's do regrowth here. We're having problems with line of sight, and then my rockets going full stupid on me has been kind of annoying here as well. So we're taking a lot of fire off of their... I mean, you have an auto fire, and there's for some reason we can't shoot that target over there. I'm gonna switch targets. I'm now getting pummeled by Way Watchers. I'm gonna take my knights and just go crush these guys over here. My other knight is beyond where it should be. Got a lot of mayhem going on right here. Let's kill some of these tree men. Still got a knight or a dragon in our midst over here. And let's see, our rocket battery took out one of those Way Watchers. I'm gonna close distance. There we go. Way Watchers have been mostly handled here. I'm just gonna charge on past enemy. I don't understand what's holding their army together. Maybe the tree men? My lord got the crap kicked out of him too. I wasn't paying attention to that. I don't have a regrowth that I can give him at the moment, but I will soon. These Glade Riders over here are an extreme nuisance. I'm gonna see if my knights can make contact with them. I don't know whether we can. This is actually really nice use of their Glade Riders. They're sitting in kind of an awkward position on my flanks, and I just can't really reach them from that position. But there we go. We finally broke their leadership, and I think it's a result of just sheer losses at this point. Maybe those Glade Riders with their ammo was what was causing things to hang in there. I'm gonna go kill these treekin. That was a worse fight than I expected. We could take some casualties in this fight. It went a little worse than I thought it should have. Probably just my fault for frequently screwing things up or being slow to react on something, but let's pull these units up. I'm gonna do a little bit more work on this tree man. I want him fully dead. And I'm gonna kill off a few more of their units here. The more damage we do to these enemy armies, the more difficult it will be for them to accomplish anything meaningful inside my territory. Wow, these Ironsides are certainly capable of pumping out some DPS. It was actually the Glade Riders, and honestly, like, maybe next time I'll just target the Glade Riders with my rockets. They seem to be effective against them. I just didn't target them early because I didn't anticipate the Glade Riders becoming much of a threat. But they were indeed a fairly significant threat throughout the battle. So I just needed to target those Glade Riders. All right, there we go. We got rid of the tree man, and I have my knights killing a few of these treekin. My knights are not armor piercing, and they're actually anti-infantry, not anti-large, so it will take them a minute to cut through these treekin, but they'll be able to do it. They have pretty high attack, so it'll help offset some of the fact that they don't have great AP. But there we go. So we're gonna cut those down, and oh gosh, no, don't. Why you do that? Stupid rockets. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and end the battle before I get more of my men killed. I mean, just look at that. Look at all the dead knights on the ground. Like, hope the rocket crew feels good about that. All right, well, like I said, a little more damage than I wanted, but we basically removed 2 armies from existence. I can do the replen. We're in friendly territory, so we're gonna replenish rather quickly. Concern, though, we do have an enemy army nearby. Wissenberg and Dotternbach have been savaged pretty hard, and this army doesn't actually pose much of a threat to me in a lot of ways because they don't have a lot of range. And war dancers will go down, but I mean, they do have a few archers and a single glade rider. I'm going to... There's no need in force marching. I can't enter an encamp stance. This is not really the best position to leave this army in, but I think what they're going to do is probably bring this army and this one, possibly that one as well, and try and attack me on the next turn, like see if they can gang up on me. That one's going to be too far away. But we've started the attrition on those armies, and we should be able to continue it. Let's go take a look at the rest of our armies. I wish I could move Todbringer via the gardens. That'd be nice. So Sigvald did come ashore near the Fortress of the Damned. However, it finished its construction objective there.
The nation calls.
I need to extinct Sigvald. He's got 2 more settlements. No, 3, because he's got one across the way here. That's going to be annoying. He's going to be difficult to extinct without him basically just getting more settlements under his control. I'm going to tear these down.
What does the Emperor bid?
Go ahead and march on into the Palace of Princes there. All right, let's check out the rest of our lords who need to move. It looks like we were engaging. Oh, let's check it out. We've got this steam tank mount here for our engineer. Not much of a battle here, just a few assorted hobgoblin units guarding for the enemy. So we've taken them out. And we're starting to get a decent number. Okay, looks like Drashoath's trying to get in behind me over here. I thought we had 2 armies in this vicinity. One was Elspeth, and we moved her back. That's right. So we had Elspeth in this vicinity, but moved her back. I still have Volkmar in the general region. He just took Morgheim, and then Floating Village and the others I'm not as interested in at the moment. We can hit Karak Asgal on this turn, and that would be a nice grab. It has a big army there. I want to start causing, obviously, as much damage to our enemies as we can. It says we're going to take medium casualties here. Honestly, I don't think so. I think that we would bombard and destroy these guys from range rather easily, especially considering I have an Amethyst rocket battery and I have multiple reloads. Not to mention reloads on these Amethyst Outriders as well. So I think we could easily take this. I'm going to start building some siege equipment to see if that helps. But we'll go ahead and lock these guys down. They do have another army nearby. They may bring both armies. If that's the case, then we will kill those armies and deal with it when the time comes. Let's see. Boris picked up some more skill points. Let's grab Mentor on him. And then, let's see, Logistician, Headhunter, Lightning Strike. So Emil has all the Lightning Strike. It's good. We'll start working on the red skill tree for him. And then let's finish up Silver Bullets here. And we got Scarred Veteran and probably Woundmaker. We need to get to Ulrika, picking up more skills. She's got the Pit of Shades, Arcane Conduit, the Earthing. A lot of important stuff there. Beast Slayer. That would actually be good to have the less casualties from Chaos Attrition because their army is, I believe, up in the Chaos Waste right now. And then I think that will allow me to get Blood Forged here next time. And then let's go with Carl here, who, let's finish up Imperial Gunnery, Rally. And then let's open up Sharpshooter here, so we're going to get big upgrades to our gun units. Let's go with Mentor, Blade Shield, and then Sparring Practice. All right. And then we got one more. Let's go to Guardian. 4 skill points here as well. This must be for those big battles they fought at the end of the last episode against Orion. We can finish up Amber Spear. Scouting. And then let's go to Savage Soldier here. Here's some combat. That's actually a pretty cool one there. And then we got Hound of Judgment. Hound. Do we actually get a Hound? Armor piercing damage plus 50. Titan Headsman. Okay. Unknown origin. Ward save. Casualty replen time. And Alpha Griff. We get 10% weapon strength and then terror for all demigriff units. That's cool. There's only 2 other demigriff units in that army, but the fact that they get terror is actually going to be kind of a big deal. So that is exciting. Pistol Core, Imperial Gunnery. Looks like we're working down here on this tree to try and unlock the lesser upkeep. Got a Master Engineer here with several skill points as well. Let's drop those in Imperial Gunnery. And let's see here. We got Triangulation, which is really important for each army. We then have the personal trees. Let's grab those 2 there, though, first. And then
with brilliance.
we can put another... Let's put a point into Earthing. Woo, we had a lot of stuff to take care of there. Let's take a look at what we want to build across our empire. We can build extra defenses at Albion, which I think would be appropriate. We could also build up the port here. All these are long builds because it's a rather uninhabitable place. So we'll do our best there. Grinzat, let's come in with some defenses. I'll just kind of start building up infrastructure in some of these places step by step here. With the rest of my money, though, I kind of want to see... Trika did not respawn into this craziness, which is good, because then we would have a whole nother issue on our hands. And you can see that we've got a spreading elf problem in our north here. I'm tempted to recall Boris, honestly, because he's not really doing us anything super important against chaos right now, and I could just let him live for now and then pull Boris back to help with his old realms, because I'm going to be busy with these other 2 armies. We're really not going to have a chance to intervene, so I may have to do that in order to just keep things safe here. Let's upgrade. I guess I'll just spend some of this money on Beckhoff in here, and then we're going to go ahead and end our turn after we issue some commandments. Income from building. Let's get this one to control and the tariff. It says we have a damage building. It's probably going to get damaged again, but let's go ahead and end the turn. All right, Drazwath walked in behind me, so we'll have to go get him in a second too. So he's trying to get in behind us and cause a little bit of trouble, but that's not going to last for long because he's got bigger fish to fry. We took a bunch of his settlements, and he's going to be in bad shape. All right, the Exiles want a trade agreement. I'm not going to do that because it's going to put me in bad with the elves, and I just don't want that going on right now. So... let's see here. The enemy is going to sally against us outside of Crooked Moon, and they have a ton of troops, an absolute crap ton. But, I mean, there's no reason to fight this. The auto-resolve is going to give us a huge victory here, and I'll just take it. We get to kill Skarsnik and a whole bunch of other people. I'm going to go ahead and just occupy that settlement so that we can move along with Volkmar. And then Sigvald is going to attack the Fortress of the Damned and lose. Talk about hilarious. I'm going to steal the money there. And then they did come and attack Carl. Okay, so this is Carl. I think he's catching them. Yeah, it's a World Roots interception. Let's go ahead and get rid of them. They did a lot of extra damage to my ships. That was nice of them. Damage that likely wouldn't have occurred in an actual battle. Hairgig. Yeah, this is not surprising. Laura Lorne is running all over us. I think Boris is going to have to come back and stop this. They are just shredding through me over there. And then, sure enough, that army did come after us. The auto-resolve is being kind to us here, though. So again, I'm just going to take the auto-resolve here so I don't have to fight that and worry about losing any of my units. We'll take the replenishment. So the Wood Elves getting a few good engagements for themselves. They're probably going to take over File Dwarf at this point. Yep. All right, well, we've got a lot to take care of, and they could hurt my income pretty bad, depending on which of these settlements they get into, so we do need to stop all this nonsense. However, I have to say this, like, this is one of the first times I've had the in-game scenario be kind of interesting. Like, I mean, a lot of times there's just still no challenge, even when they do get into the in-game scenario. I'm gonna actually recall... I don't think this army would get there any faster than Boris. I was thinking about recalling this army, but there's really just not any point. Let's just kind of continue to do damage over here. Hit the Pillar of Skulls. This will help us make money and pick up schematics and stuff like that. So let's just go ahead and occupy. We're going to potentially need new income sources anyway as a result of what's going on elsewhere. I need to get my trade goods built there. Don't need that building. Let's pull Boris out of the Chaos Waste and get him sailing home. So I'm going to get him out of the waste, and he is now out to sea. We're probably going to lose all that up there. Not that worried about it. I'm more worried about getting back here to support against the Lower Lorne elves, which are kind of ripping me a new one in the north at the moment. Mainly because I don't have an army there to oppose them. Anywhere where I've had an army to oppose them, the elves have suffered terribly. This army could use a little more time to replenish.
So many ideas.
But I don't know whether they're going to get it. Requisition, fleet-footed, piercing shots, pigeon bomb. Let's start this... tree there, and then let's take a look at our engineer. Let's go with Sigmar's Ward. Missile resistance can be pretty handy against elves. Don't really see a lot of times where that's going to be a bad thing in this particular scenario. Let's take a look at our Empire Captain here. Let's go with Sparring Practice, Ulrika. We can get Blood Forged.
In the name of Magnus.
Let's go with Pan's Pelt, and then good old Theodore Bruckner here. Let's improve his weapon damage. He's turning into quite an anti-infantry unit there. Volkmar gonna pick up some skills because of his big battle against the Greenskins. Let's finish up Quartermaster and Logistician. Let's see here, piercing shots. Let's do Sigmar's Ward. And let's grab fleet-footed here. And let's get the Earthing and drop another point into Regrowth.
Pioneer of progress.
Same thing, Regrowth. And then let's do a Dwellers Below there. Awesome. All right, we got the skill points handled. Let's go take a look at our different lords. Helmgart was taken down by the Wood Elves, which is frustrating. However, the crashing wave of Wood Elves that initially came against us has kind of been blunted a little, at least for now. I don't know how quickly they will rebuild. Could be rather substantial, potentially. I'm going to move Carl forward. Our land ships, they got unnecessarily damaged in that last battle. I'm a little bit frustrated. They're going to have to continue to heal. However, the rest of my army is going to be quite healthy, but we definitely have some more Wood Elf armies to deal with. So we are not done with this fight yet. I do think that I'm going to look for like a high chance. Yeah, so there's like a 70% ambush chance. Let's park there and see if we get lucky and catch one of these Wood Elf armies in an ambush. And then I'm going to take Elspeth. And I'm going to go ahead and retake Helmgart and push through here and see if we can get on our way to burning down the Oak of Ages. So they may be ripping up some of my territory and causing me a few like monetary losses and stuff that are annoying. But we are going to make them pay a much more dear price for their treachery. Let's head back here and fix Sump Pit.
Grand Theogenist.
And then the Grand Theogenist is ready for more action down here at Blightwater. Let's move on over. Again, some of these settlements, if we get an opportunity, we could put in these trade goods and potentially make up for some of the lost income that we've had to suffer because of the Wood Elves going after our trade and settlements and stuff like that. They definitely hit us at some settlements that were going to cost us. Go to quick deal. The Exiles are the only other faction that want trade right now. I was trying to look for any extra income. We got a crap ton of schematics. So let's go into our Amethyst Armory. We could pick up some Spirit Barrage, which would be fun. It's a very deadly bombardment there. We can't get this one until we get to level 4. If we save our money, we could get some Amethyst land ships whenever that building finishes. So maybe I should save my schematics and we'll unlock some Amethyst land ships. We haven't gotten to mess with those yet. Doddernbach. We should probably rebuild Doddernbach and Wissenberg. I'm going to save a little bit of cash because I'm not in a huge hurry to build things on this turn end. Do want to improve Altdorf to tier 5, but that would take almost all my money, and we're a little bit low on money at the moment. Let's take a look at Nuln. Nuln is only 2 turns away from finishing the gunnery school. So that would be when we get to the highest tier of... We've got 10, we've got 4 population surplus at the moment. I guess I'll just put it to growth here because it ends up being helpful. There we go. And we have our Empire Captain. I think this was the Empire Captain who was in Elspeth's army, if I remember right. He would have about a year-long walk to get to where he needs to go, so I guess I'll start that extremely long process, though not a particularly important character, I guess, at this point. He's pretty much done for the campaign because of that. All right, I'm back. We were going through this turn end, and a couple of things happened. One of them is the Wood Elves attacked me, and I was like, you know what? I think I could win this. I'm going to have to do a separate video. Like, I know you all know my position on this if you've been watching my videos recently. Siege battles stink. They stink bad. I need to make a video out of the map. I would have had to have defended 4 different gates. Now remember that most of the time when you're being attacked at a garrison, you're at a disadvantage, right? Because you have a smaller army versus a larger. And CA designs a siege map where I have to defend 4 different gates. That's if I want to defend the walls. If I don't want to defend the walls, I do have a victory point. And there was magically only 1 entrance to the victory point. But if I go on the victory point, I get absolutely slaughtered by dragon breath attacks and archers because it is packed in so tight and has 0 cover. And there's real no way to defend that. Well, the next thing then is I have to defend the key point, because the key point they have to take to get the victory point. There are 5 entrances to the key point, leaving me utterly surrounded. These maps are absolutely ridiculous. They need to be redesigned. At a minimum, if CA is going to insist on leaving these terrible siege maps in the game, they need to increase the size of your garrison substantially, since you're going to have to defend from multiple points. I don't think that's the right solution, but again, if you're going to leave the terrible maps that leave the defender at a disadvantage, then you need to give the defender the advantage of having way more troops on hand, or for me to be able to spend money one time to be able to increase the garrison of a settlement and not have to pay the upkeep on that. Something has to be done. I would prefer better map design, but that's going to take a lot of work, and I don't think they're going to do it. So I would be open to other solutions. Anyway, rant complete. Whew. I don't mind fighting the Wood Elves here in the late game. It's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fights. They're going to cause me a substantial amount of damage, as you're seeing them do. However, what I do mind is the terrible, and I mean terrible, map design. And then I also hate this kind of stuff like the auto-resolve, insisting that my single entities and other stuff die every time we have an auto-resolve. I'm going to have to fight this one. There's a lot of glade guards and riders and stuff that we're going to have to kill here, so I'll see this one through on the map. I could retreat and see if I can replenish. I don't know whether it'll work. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll just replenish and then fight them when we have more hit points. Okay, so another somewhat disastrous turn in for us because of the things going on. However, that disaster's not going to last. I have enough funds saved up to where we're not going to go broke over like the course of just a couple of turns. I've got Boris turned around and he's heading back to his homelands to pay a deadly visit to Lorelorn. Their little time in the sun here is about to be over.
Elspeth Von Draken.
Elspeth is about to check these characters as well. So I retook Helmgart. I'm going to move over to Montfort. And then we just need to destroy that army that's over at Blackstone Pit. All right, so we're going to reoccupy here. I might give Montfort back to Eltharion.
I think not.
Are these guys only at war with me, or are they at war with everyone? Let's go see. There's the smelly wood elves. Yeah, they're at war with me and with other factions allied to me. Some of them only with me. Okay. All right. Well, we can deal with this soon enough. We were able to retreat here. They have occupied Fyldorf. I'm obviously not going to tolerate that. I'm going to go ahead and move this army back down here and see if we can get into an ambush. Now that it's done some replenishing, it'll have a chance to replenish a little bit more as well. We should be able to put an end to their little incursion there. Now, meanwhile, let's take our armies that aren't dealing with hordes of pointy ears and see what we can accomplish here. I guess we need to just go over to Misty Mountain and knock out these.
I will cast out all evil.
Crooked Moon was begging me for peace during the last turn-in, which I'm not going to give them. This Chaos Dwarf army is doing a very annoying AI tactic, which is send an army behind your lines, attack, retreat, and run. And just try and continue to terrorize your settlements behind you. So it's annoying, but we're gonna kill him and undo some of this. I'm gonna have to just make a run on Misty Mountain. I'm not gonna be able to make it there in one turn, but we will march that way. And then Emil, I would say is wasted, but there's still a pretty substantial attack coming against Malachi, though it does look like Malachi is ending it off still pretty well at the moment. So I don't think our effort over here has been totally wasted. We were able to put a dent in some of the enemies. However, I don't know that Emil is any longer needed here. That takes us to the Shadowlands, which wouldn't really help me. Yeah, that wouldn't really do me any good. I wish there was a quicker way for me to get back to the Empire through some kind of sea lane, but there just isn't. Really, the only way to get back to the Empire is a very long march, and this army just isn't really needed over there. So I think I'm just going to keep it in this vicinity, at least for the time being. Yeah, I'm just going to slaughter some more greenskins. I think the only people who can use the gardens and more, I'm just going to make sure of this. It says Elspeth spent time roaming in the towers, garden where her magic restores travels with her. It says friendly or neutral empire-owned settlements known to Elspeth can be selected. Constructed with 5 gardens. Elspeth and her army can travel instantly. I don't think that our other armies are allowed to fast travel. So like if I do want to fast travel here, it's going to, yeah, have Elspeth's army go. So there's not a quicker way for me to get that army back.
Amethyst
It
Majesty.
is what it is. Let's see here. Specialist. We've got basically everything that we can get here. I am going to... yeah, I mean, just there's no... It's going to take me like 10 turns to get Emil home. The whole campaign might even be over by then. It's going to take me probably more like 10 or 12 turns to walk home from where he's at. It could certainly be helpful, depending on what the state of the war with the Wood Elves is like. But if I get all the way back and then there is no war against the Wood Elves, then it's not going to be particularly helpful. Now, that said, if I do start a force march, I mean, maybe I can get over... Oh, they're sieging my gold mine settlement over here. That's going to cost me a fortune if they take it. And of course, I don't have any garrison there. That is frustrating. I'm going to lose a lot of money. when that goes down. I did not expect them to make that much progress against me. Lorelorn was kind of an annoying one here. I am gonna go ahead and force march back over here. It's gonna take me many turns, but I'm gonna get the march started so that we can get some revenge on these pointy-eared jerks. Franz is coming up behind them. It's good news. My land ships are still in a state of disrepair because of auto-resolve. But I could come up here and go ahead and siege in Orion and try to make some progress there. It just means that my land ships aren't going to be able to get any replenishment, but the rest of my army... And see, like, watch it just damage my land ships some more. Here we go. Let's do it. Yeah. See, it's just like, it's like, oh yeah, your land ships are going to die in every auto-resolve. I mean, I guess in a way it's accurate because the AI targets those units like relentlessly, totally relentlessly. But at the same time, it's frustrating because a player can just move them out of the way and keep them safe.
In the name of Magnus.
The auto-resolve needs to quit being so biased against large single entity stuff. It is really quite annoying. Attribute snipe. What else do we got here? Get some upgrades. Let's killing blow and then... Oh man, what else do I want to do here? I guess devastating charge.
Who calls?
And one into Pan's Pelt.
By the comet.
We can get Champion and Nuln here, which is going to give us the Hand of Judgment. Make someone unbreakable. Executioner. The Executioner awaits. A unit with Executioner will execute units in combat below 20%. Ooh. That's cool. That's going to be a nice one. All right, so Bruckner gets that, and then let's go ahead and hit Woundmaker again. And let's finish up Dwellers, or let's finish up Regrowth, and then we'll do Dwellers. Let's do Sigmar's Ward, Volkmar. Alright, let's do Logistician for him so he can heal faster. Get Dwellers below. Alright, I think we have taken care of most all I want to do. I'm going to keep a chunk of money here in case they put me in the negative, which they very well could over the next few turns. They could certainly potentially put me into the negative with the attacks. We're going to finish the gunnery school, by the way, on the next one, so that ought to be interesting. All right, I have lost like 4 or 5 settlements so far to like the Poxmakers and Drazawath and Wood Elves, and they finally showed up at a place where the auto-resolve is going to give them what they deserve. So I'm going to take that, and we're going to send forces of Lorelorn packing there. But they're not done with me yet, of course. They've got other settlements they can ravage, and ravage they will. Holy moly. All right, it does look like our army here managed to pick up some enemies with their hidden stances, the same enemies that were there last time. I refused to kill them that time. This time they won't be so lucky. All right, the Emperor's Wrath got some heals there immediately upon the battle starting. My artillery is in range already. The AI I figured would want to deploy close to the reinforcements. I'm gonna let my artillery do some work on the enemy. I'll give some more specific targets in a moment. I'm waiting for a regrowth, and I'm gonna finish healing the Emperor's Wrath. Because it's a single entity, I can do that. Like, it's not going to be capped like some of my other units when they've lost some entities. They kind of end up capped. I'm going to target my rockets onto appropriate targets here. My cannon, on the other hand, can probably just target... I'm going to target their Spellsinger. All right, we should be able to cause a great deal of damage to our enemies here prior to the battle ever even starting. In fact, we've lured these Wild Riders in, and they are going to get absolutely massacred. If a single one of them makes it alive to our lines, then I got cheated, because there's certainly no reason why they should. They're now kind of falling back from my artillery, which honestly is the right move. They definitely should not want to be anywhere near my artillery at the moment. When their reinforcements come on, they will immediately come into artillery fire as well, which is why I've positioned where I did. I've got my knights, you know, of course, that can guard my flanks. And I don't think there's any other heals I can make because we're going to be capped based on having started the battle without some of these units. The AI did move to the edge of my artillery range here, so I might acquire some of these newer targets that are coming in. So like right here, I'm going to drop some rockets on those new arrivals. My great cannon can probably pick off that tree man a little. All right, we got some enemies making for our right flank. They're coming under heavy fire here. It's a Sisters of the Thorn and a Great Eagle. The Eagle got doused with gunfire, and now the Sisters are going to get it. The enemy is becoming difficult to keep line of sight on, though line of sight or not, I'm pretty sure those rockets cause some damage. I'm going to continue to fire because they're marching across the map. Might send my engineer out to get some line of sight here. I need to make these, I need to make these units visible as they cross. I'm gonna try, I'm trying to get visibility on some of these archer units that are crossing the map. We need to kill as many wood elves as we can here. Might even see if I can lure a few of them this direction by bringing my engineer within striking range. Yeah, I'm trying to lure some units in here. Oh yeah. All right, the rockets have some good targets right here if they could manage to land a shot into that blob. There we go. Luring some shots here from those Glade Riders. All right. They've got some interested parties here. I'm gonna let my rockets visit them in wrath. See if we can take some of those units out. It's a little bit of a risk, my lord, but as long as I do some good dodging here, should be relatively safe, and it'll give me a chance to get started on some of these units early. Hang on, the AI is actually coming right towards me now. I need to reposition my gun line. They're coming in askewed to the way that I've deployed. So let's do that. And let me get some other stuff set up here. And yep, there we go. And reposition this engineer over here. My artillery doesn't need to move, the rest of my troops do. All right. Let's see, I've got some of the rockets going out. We've got to crush all of their archers. Horse archers, foot archers, doesn't matter what it is. The archers have to be destroyed because we've seen, you know, the type of damage that they can do in a relative hurry if we get their archers inside of range. All right, let's see here. My great cannon, let's target their spell singers. They had a unit stray into range, and it did not end well for them. I see more archers headed towards me. I'm going to start shredding into some of those archers. They've got a couple more coming up my left flank. All right, here comes the first enemies to get inside a gun range. My iron side's going to open. I got dwellers below all over me right there. That's frustrating. Not much I'm going to be able to do to dodge that, I should say. Oh gosh, yeah, they are already crushing me with archers on this flank. I'm going to have to fall back with both these units to buy a moment for my iron sides before my artillery support gets into position. They're approaching me hard with a whole lot of spears on this flank too. That is not ideal, considering that I only have cavalry to hold. My lord just got completely hosed by archers. That's cool. I think he's just shattered. He's not dead. So hopefully we can salvage this situation. I've had to just commit cavalry into these fights over here, which is not what I want.
Engineer, immediately.
All right, I've got to stay focused on their archers. So I'm selecting some new archery targets. This is not ideal here. I got a tree man right in my face. And I'm just only able to try and hold it with knights, so we're gonna have to pull him down. There's a lot of eternal guard here, which is causing me a pretty good amount of headaches. Because normally they just killed my cannon. That's frustrating. Normally my knights would be very effective against enemy infantry, but at the moment they've got so many units. Let's see what we can do. I need to get this tank back to safety. And I have to get these knights back out of harm's way here. We've got to get this tree man killed. The sooner the better. I think we have pretty well dealt with some of their... I'll do a little bit of heals over here. Yeah, that tree man's going down. Their spell singers, I think, can still do the turn invisible thing. One of them has lined up over there. I'm about to get rid of a tree man, and once I get rid of the tree man, I can get rid of their spell singer up here. Their archers have been mostly dealt with. I'm not really taking damage from them anymore. All right, we won. It was ugly, but we won. Okay, well, like I said, that was certainly a bit ugly. Not exactly the way I wanted to do that, but we did it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the replenishment there. Hopefully we're done with the Wood Elf destruction for this turn, and we can continue to try and fight back. I have a tremendous number of schematics, and I feel like we are very close to being able to get some sweet revenge on these Wood Elves for all of their trespasses against the Empire. We finished the gunnery school, and that's going to have completed our upgrades here as well. I do believe that from a victory conditions standpoint, we've now met the long victory conditions. So technically we achieved a victory here because we upgraded the gunnery school. I think that was one of the... Oh, no, we got to control all of these. Well, it says we've met we've achieved long victory. Control all provinces of the Empire either by direct ownership or through vassals and military allies. So yeah, we're good there. So we've met all of that. Really, we just have to finish our vengeance on the Wood Elves here. I mean, that's really the only thing remaining at this point. I'm going to retake Fyldorf and begin to, like I said, undo the damage. They tore all this stuff down, of course, raised it, so now it's going to have to be completely rebuilt and regrown, so that's irritating, but to be expected from the AI. They know how to annoy. They don't have any clue how to, like, obtain a strategic victory or anything. So, like I said, the AI is really just programmed to annoy and lose. That seems to be their main objectives with what it is that they do. This army is kind of out there. I don't want it to get in behind me. They're trying to recruit. I could go and put some pressure on the forest itself with Franz on the next episode, and then I've also got Elspeth, but I need to get over here and again put pressure on the forces of Arguelon here, who took Blackstone Post. So I think I'm going to... There's going to be attrition damage that we suffer going through the lands over here, but I'm going to move over here, and we're going to go pay Arguelon a visit and pay them back for that nonsense. And I hope Lara Lorne's having a good time, because their days are very much numbered. A very angry and very one-eyed Boris Todbringer is on his way to pay them back in vengeance and fire. And then Emil is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 turns away as well. So we are in a position where they're going to start making some payments. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I'll see you all soon with some more action in the Elspeth Von Draken campaign.